Recently, I made a tier list video for Anime Auto Chess. In that video, I said if anyone disagree with my tier list, they can comment what they disagreed on and why they disagreed with it. And I did see some people leaving comments on what they disagreed with. And some of these comments did have some good points. For example, some units that I have placed in the C tier, such as Itadori, might have deserved to be in the low B tier. But overall, there wasn't a comment that would change my tier list drastically. At the very best, you're moving one tier up or down, and it's like from the top of one tier to the bottom of the other. So it's not that much change. So I thought that my tier list was still a fairly accurate tier list. But that was until I read this comment. Go try Sakura with 2 cooldown reduced and 1 mana regen relic. No cooldown heal, she so OP. My initial reaction to that comment was that I have already tried that, and Sakura still had a well over 1 minute cooldown for her ability. That's why I placed her in the C tier initially. But then I thought, maybe the devs did some rework, some bug fix that changed how Sakura functioned. So I went into a game and tried her out with the loadout combination that was recommended by that comment. And guess what? She still had around 80 something seconds cooldown. So I thought that, well, seems that I was right. Sakura is a bad unit. Her cooldown is way too long for her to be a good unit that's actually provide anything in the battle. But after a closer inspection, I noticed that Sakura used her ability while it was still on cooldown. So then I realized that her cooldown wasn't 80 something seconds, but it was closer to 2 to 3 seconds, making her the best support unit in the game, and that her long cooldown time was just a visual bug. So if what I was seeing was correct, this would mean that Sakura, a unit that I thought was a C tier unit, was potentially an S tier unit in disguise. So I did a bit more research and I messed around with the equipment combinations to see if there was a better loadout that I could use for Sakura. And here is what I found. So after I messed around with Sakura a bit, I found that the comments was correct. This is probably the best loadout to have for Sakura. You need the magical charm for the mana gain because her attack speed is horrible. So you're going to need to boost that mana gain one way or the other. And 2 pocket watch to boost your mana haste as much as possible, or ability haste. Now, the best trait you can have for Sakura is Scholar. It gives ability power, mana gain, and ability haste. Arguably, the 3 most important stats for Sakura. It's basically the only 3 stats that really matters for this unit. Her health, in general, is pretty good, especially for a support unit. She has a very high HP, but her armor and resistance is low, so if she does get hit by someone else's ability, she would most likely die. So she's just a healer mainly. She can't do anything else. She's not good at tanking things, and she's not good at dealing damage. She relies mainly on her single ability of healing her allies. The thing is, this ability I don't believe works on herself. If you have 2 Sakura, they can heal each other, but if you have 1 Sakura, I don't think her healing ability works on herself. Or at the very least, I haven't noticed it healing herself. Now, her passive is pretty good. Healing Gift and Supportive Healer boost her healing even more, so now she's going to be doing a little over 3,000 healing when she's maxed out every single time she uses her ability. Her Explosive Kunai passive is garbage. Doing a little bit of ability damage every 4th attack is going to do nothing. Her ability damage isn't that high, so that's doing nothing in general. Her Ninja Savior passive is pretty good. It gives more mana whenever you attack, and it gives more ability damage and ability haste, meaning she's gonna heal even more, she's gonna get the heal even faster, and her cooldown's even lower. So overall, I would say this is the best loadout you can have for her. I did try switching things around a bit, for example having 2 magical charm, but that was a bit of an overkill. I also tried having 3 pocket watch, but that's also a bit of an overkill because even though your cooldown is pretty much 0 seconds with 3 pocket watch, her mana gain's horrible. As I said, attack speed's pretty low. You're gonna need some sort of mana gain item. But that's enough for checking out her loadout. Let's see how Sakura actually performs in an actual game. Right now, I'm in Infinite Mode Classic Wave 50. With this current team setup that I have, I should be able to reach Wave 70. I've already did it like twice, so even without using like Awakening Power. So this is a very powerful team that I have. I would say Sakura is kind of the reason they're surviving this long, so she's definitely an S tier unit in my opinion right now. I'm going to show you in just a moment how strong her ability cooldown is compared to what I thought it was. So if you go to the stats here and you go to regen, it doesn't show, even though it says she's doing 45,000 regen, that's just herself. If you go to healing, it doesn't show anything, like no units doing any healing, which I think is just another visual bug. But there's kind of a lot of bugs in the game right now. If you just look at this Sakura right here, once I press go, you're gonna see her ability be used and then it's back. She just used it like twice. Okay, maybe ×3 speed is not the best to do showcase with. Okay, ×1 speed. Let's see her in action. And they're off. She used her ability. Mana gain. She's gonna ability again. There it is. And there it is again. It's back again. She has about 2-second-ish cooldown. And every time she does heal, she would heal for about 3,000 if you consider her passive into it. So wait. Oh, I misclicked. Let me click back on Sakura. So with healing gift and supportive healer, that's another 80% healing power. So that's a little over 3,000, almost 4k. So that's a lot of healing. And in the actual battle, you can see where her healing hits, her AoE for the heal. It's gonna be the orange circle. Yeah, this right here, these 2 orange circle, that's about her healing AoE. So with a massive heal, it's gonna be keeping your units alive, and with the buff, it's gonna have your units ramp up in damage even further. If I check stats here and just go damage in total, okay, we're gonna see that some of our units are ramped up to the max. Kirito's not gonna get his chance to ramp up yet because the opponent's not strong enough yet, even though we're already at wave 50. Once we get to wave 70, Kirito is gonna slash them all. But that's gonna be pretty much the showcase. So if you don't have Sakura yet, somehow, she's a rare unit, so she's very common to get. If you don't have Sakura, I would suggest rolling for her and investing your points into getting her leveled up and getting her gear set up. Her equipments are very simple. You don't need any legendary or rare equipments. It's just 3 epics. So overall, very powerful unit, S tier, very easy to set up, very easy to obtain. I don't see a reason why you don't have her or invest in her yet. That's going to be it for the video. Have a wonderful day.